As Vikir fired an arrow at the tree trunk, Ayan expressed disappointment in his archery skills, instructing him to aim at the embedded arrow instead. Vikir questioned whether it was appropriate for her to teach him in that position. Ayan smiled and reminded him that it was he who asked to be taught how to use the bow. She emphasized the importance of learning the bow well since Vikir's body wouldn't allow him to use a sword for a while. The goal was to capture a large prey to enhance his reputation. Ayan continued to put pressure on Vikir's back to correct his posture. In pain, Vikir realized that his bones were at their limit. Suddenly, Ayan's wolf appeared behind them, and Ayan was a bit shocked and applied some extra pressure on Vikir's back, resulting in a cracking sound. Vikir fell to the ground in pain, and Ayan asked her wolf, Bakira, if it had found what they were looking for. The wolf howled in response. Ayan commanded Vikir to get up, stating that they would be moving quickly from that point onwards. They soon arrived near a water stream. Ayan explained that this was the area where the river and ocean connect, so both the ocean's water and animals occupy that area. Ayan shared a story her grandmother had told her. A salmon believes that if it successfully swims up the waterfall, it can evolve into a huge beast. However, most salmon fail to rise above that waterfall and fall. They are eventually punished when they fall onto sharp rocks, and the fish that fell become food for an ox bear. Vikir observed the massive bear in front of him and questioned whether it was an ox bear, remarking that it seemed completely different from the ones he had seen before. Ayan clarified that it was no ordinary ox bear, but one born from a superior bloodline and had survived numerous challenges. When Vikir wondered if he was being asked to capture such a formidable creature, Ayan explained that she hadn't instructed Bakira to find a strong female to hunt. Their actual target was the male bear courting the female. Several male bears approached the female bear, and she looked at them for a moment. However, she rejected their advances with force and sent them running away. Vikir was intrigued by the female's behavior and asked how strong a male she was looking for. Ayan corrected his thinking, stating that the female bear wasn't seeking a strong mate. A smaller male bear then approached the female, and they interacted with gentle gestures. Vikir was surprised that the female had chosen the weaker male. Ayan stated that the female bear was looking for a mate that she can boss around. She explained that strong males tend to become aggressive during mating, and there are situations when they kill their partners. Hence, strong bears were unpopular among the ox bears. That was why females of the species preferred weaker and smaller partners. Ayan drew a parallel to how Balak warriors selected their partners, favoring young entities with excellent DNA, especially if they had been weakened due to an injury. Vikir realized that the female bear's interest was primarily in obtaining good DNA. As the bear couple began to walk away, Ayan emphasized that their course of action was to wait, as the female would eventually suppress the male's strength completely. Vikir stood outside a cave, where bear roars and moans were clearly audible. He reflected on the past 4 days, during which he had been providing food to the hungry ox bears to facilitate their mating. Ayan asked Vikir if he had left food for the ox bears, and he confirmed that he had. Ayan held a small fruit that temporarily boosted one's strength but came with the cost of consuming one's lifespan. She explained that the intelligent female bear would understand their intentions and choose not to eat it, while the male would eat it to handle the female. Vikir understood why Ayan had chosen a big and strong female as their target, to deplete the male's strength. Ayan then offered Vikir some soup to help him heal. While drinking the soup, Vikir commented on how the bears were mating intensely. Ayan humorously remarked that it was normal behavior for male Balaks, but seemingly unusual for imperial males like Vikir, jokingly attributing it to his origin from a geeky country. Ayan seductively approached Vikir, asking if he could perform like that. However, their conversation was interrupted by a loud voice, and Ayan alerted Vikir to get ready, indicating that the female bear had been impregnated. The female bear let out a loud scream, and the male ran away from the cave in fear. Vikir and Ayan were hiding in a nearby tree, and Vikir asked why the female was chasing the male away. Ayan explained that an ox bear that has finished mating becomes a territorial and competitive predator. The female was warning the male never to come back to her territory. Vikir noted that the male wanted to sleep since she had exhausted her strength and hadn't slept for the past 4 days. Ayan replied that the male would seek a safe and remote place to rest. They planned to follow the male bear and quietly chase after him until he started to sleep, at which point they would begin their hunt. Vikir and Ayan trailed the male bear and arrived in a cold environment. Vikir remarked that the male should be tired, but he was moving quite far away. Ayan explained that the male was searching for a location with the fewest threats the forest posed. The cold environment ensured that mosquitoes, which could suck bones or blood, couldn't survive there. Vikir asked if the ox bear came to this place knowing about it. Ayan replied that an ox bear's intelligence was quite high, and their acquired knowledge was better than their instincts, allowing them to make strategic decisions. Vicar felt cold due to his body's condition, but he hesitated to admit it. Ayan noticed and offered to share body warmth by putting their bodies close together, but Vicar denied her offer, saying that he was fine. She warned him that if his body temperature decreases, his body will become stiff, and if his body becomes stiff, it will hinder their hunting efforts. Vicar was surprised by her rational reasoning and wondered if she was capable of making such logical decisions. After a moment of thought, he decided to accept her offer. He suddenly hugged her from behind and Ayan's face turned red, and she tried to justify it as concern for her slave's health, stating that it was a master's duty to look after her slave's well-being. Suddenly, Ayan's wolf, Bakira, stopped and growled while looking ahead. Ayan noticed that the ox bear's footsteps had disappeared. She wondered where it went, but before she could finish her sentence, the ox bear, which had been hiding nearby, let out a loud growl and attacked her.